we are live on the internet.
Hello, internet.
Hello,
Hello,
single watcher.
Hello.
You. It's you there.
Thanks for watching.
That's probably us monitoring the stream for the chat.
Yeah.
If it
Could be.
says 5 viewers, that'll be why. Yeah. Hello and welcome to Polyhedron Collider Plays Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch. We are in episode 4 of Goldenfields, so it's a Champions of Chance. I don't know actually what episode we're fully on, but I'm treating it as Act. So it's Act 2, Goldenfields, episode 4.
Although this is going to go out as episode 5, I think.
Right then, so I'm completely wrong, as per usual.
Good,
I've been close.
Good pre-game talk, guys. Good
Yeah.
pre-game.
Yeah, but
Hashtag ramshackle.
yeah, exactly. 7 P's in action there for you. So, on the several previous episodes, the Champions of Chance ventured to Goldenfields, where they discovered Goldenfields had previously been under attack, but nothing seems to have been done by Strom, the half-orc guard captain. At the middle of the night, you found that there was a combined force of goblins, bugbears, and ogres within the city walls, and they were ransacking as much food as they could get their hands on. You scared off the humanoids you found in the town square, followed a group of them to the abbey, where you dispatched them, or should I say, your magical elk Patches dispatched them.
Patch did all the work.
Patch the Wonder Elk.
The Wanderer.
And Orin finished everyone off.
Yeah.
Sandhorn doesn't remember it like that.
At which point the alarm was raised. You, some characters, mostly Benjin and Barbarian, went to chase down the humanoids who'd gone to the animal pens, and unfortunately was apparently slain or knocked out. You don't know, because Benjin went down to 0 hit points, and the last thing you saw was he was being carried away by an ogre.
Benjin, no.
We were all very, very sad.
So at the end of the last session, you regrouped with...
he got over it.
I did.
You regrouped with a group of the town guard and started heading south, following the trail of the humanoids as they were heading towards what appeared to be the breach in the wall that you found. Only to see a fight occur some little way in the distance, which seemed to go badly for the guards. And then all of a sudden, the guards you were with got splatted when a rock comes from the sky and hit them.
Yikes.
In the dim light, it's probably about 5 o'clock in the morning, so you can start to see the sun edging over the horizon, which means Patches hasn't got long left before its magic vanishes.
Good job no one's riding him. Oh, wait.
No.
You can see 2 humanoid figures, 16 feet tall, who appear to be like unkept men, basically, who have stomped down loads of guards and have started picking up chunks of masonry and just throwing them at you.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yes.
So we begin, and there you are. Roll for initiative, gents.
From beyond the grave.
Oh, you can see where I am.
So you should be at the top. If you
Yeah, it should
notice
be
top
top. Yeah,
middle,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
sitting on top of an elk is Sandhorn and Cenza. And then you should have control of these extra NPCs as well.
Right.
That's more like it.
Where are you, Sandhorn? There you are. There we are. Let's try that. And then... Which one's Naxine?
Maxine.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Who is controlling Lee, actually, in this one?
Shall I do
See.
Lee? I've done Lee before.
Okay, stick to Lee then. I think you've still got control of her. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Where is she? She's over here. Cool. And yeah, so Steve, since I've got control of Patch as well,
Yeah.
so if I move Patch, does Cenza and Zanhorn move with?
They will have to move their
They'll have
tokens
to move it.
manually.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's not quite that advanced, unfortunately.
God damn it.
So, Sandhorn, you have the initiative.
So I don't know what to do. This has never happened before. Ah,
Oh, so Steve, in which case, Patch will only move on my initiative, though, won't he? So does that mean that Sandhorn and Cenza are stuck on Patch that won't move until my turn?
They can still take actions. It's friendly to you and your companions. It acts on your turn, yes.
I
And
think
you
it's
have to
probably
use your
time.
bonus.
Go on.
You have to use your bonus action to command it.
Okay. So can I do that out of turn then, or
What you can do is you can assume that because those two are riding it and Zanhorn is riding it, Zanhorn can take control.
okay, cool, right? So I'll just have to move it. That's cool.
Yeah.
How far can he move?
60 foot.
60 feet.
Yeah.
How far is it to the? Not 60 feet.
Not 60 feet.
Okay, I think. So, can we see Benjin from here? Do we think is he beyond these guys?
It's beyond these. Yeah, you can't see him at the moment. You can't see any of the other humanoids at this point.
Right, but they are off in the distance somewhere.
He's haunting you.
But I mean, this view is a little bit distracting because this shows it at full daylight. Remember, you are at pre-dawn light levels at the moment. The only reason you can see these things is because the guards who they've just squished were all carrying torches, and so they're all kind of like bottom lit. These fearsome creatures.
Zanhorn's going to yell out to the guys: "Do we fight, or do we try and evade?"
We have to fight.
Zanhorn's
Can
just going
we
to be like,
fight?
"No, we don't. I'll just tell everyone we fought them."
There's nowhere to evade to. They're giants. If we don't stop them now, they'll ransack the entire town. We are the last, first, and only defense against the scum of these creatures.
Zanhorn will be like, "With your logic again." All
With
right.
my honor.
Well, I guess it'll make for a great story. And with that, he'll try and kick Patches into the direction of the one on the left there, from our perspective.
This way. Yeah,
So he can do 60 feet, puts us about there.
that's okay. Are you sure you want to go that far?
You said
Ben, you haven't done initiative. Oren.
Orin's dead, isn't he?
No, Oren's there.
he was very much alive. He was running around in
Yeah.
circles, being triumphant.
Oh,
Playing his fiddle or whatever it was.
oh, sorry. How do I do that?
I can move Cenza. So Cenza's on the back of there as well.
Okay.
Just you like usual, Ben. Just click on the token and click initiative in the top left.
Oh, hang on.
If I want
Hang
to
on.
dismount,
I'm blocking my screen now.
is that an action?
It can be considered part of your movement, but if you've already moved Patches the full movement, then no.
If I move him back a bit, can we say that we...
Yeah, if you want.
So if we move him...
Fire you.
Oh, I can move him. I'm going to
okay.
dismount behind him because I know what's good for me. I don't want to get in front of those horns. I want to give him the full opportunity to do some damage. And then...
Not yet.
And then I think we need an opening. We need to worry this massive giant with some vicious mockery. What's the difference between a troll and your mother? Only one's a stinking ugly monster, the other's a troll.
Okay. It made its wisdom save.
Unbelievably.
You can just hear it go. I'm not a troll.
Oh dear.
Okay. I just need to move. Can I do it again? There we go. Right then.
I've got a bad
So-
feeling about Steve's role this game.
So, I was 665. Okay, so this troll at the bottom here, this troll. God, you got me saying it now. The giant in the closest to the wall grabs like a broken chunk of masonry and just hurls it at the party at the top left. Who's standing in top right? Sorry.
So that is me and Orin, Haval and Orin.
So he's going to throw it probably at Haval. Yeah. And it is. It hits armor class 12.
It does not hit me.
So this huge piece of masonry just like boom, past you at a short distance. You just kind of dodge calmly out of the way of it.
I saw that coming.
As calmly as one can dodge an enormous piece of masonry being thrown by
Yes.
giants.
Oh. And then the other giant picks up this rock it can see in front of it and does exactly the same thing at Patches.
No!
Uh-oh.
And hits armor class 18 for 24 damage.
Ow!
Now, off the top of my head, that's going to hit him.
Yeah, he's armor class 13.
I got armor class 14 on the sheet.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
yeah, that hits him, and he's only got 6 wounds left, so he reverts back to just a black fluffy ball of magic.
Patches!
No!
So
Would
Cenza,
that have
you-
hit me as well, Steve?
Technically, no. But you
Cool.
make an animal handling check
Oh, okay.
to see if you manage to dismount smoothly. Yeah,
Whoa.
I
like
do.
that. You see the rock coming and anticipate its movement and jump off just as the rock just squishes Patches.
It's not
Can
funny.
we just all just take a moment? The loss of our strongest and mightiest hero.
Patches, we will sing
Oh
songs of
dear.
you.
We will sing songs of you, Patch.
Patches, you could do with a patch
But when we
right
sing
now.
the songs, can we get his name right and call him Patch?
Patch, sorry.
Yeah.
Patch. Sorry.
But there's more than one of him. Where is that weasel?
Where is the weasel? We're going to need that weasel.
The weasel's here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to zoom right in.
Okay, Haval.
Right. First off, I'm going to move the weasel.
Still sounds like euphemism.
There is not much I can do. I think we should consolidate our numbers and all attack one giant at a time. So, about there. Yes, that's. Oh, I can double my distance if I dash, can't I?
Yep.
Yep. Doing that then, which will. Sorry, zoom out a little bit too far. Okay, brilliant. That's going to put me right next to these guys. Can I throw as a bonus action? Can I throw?
No,
my
because
other-
controlling Patch was the bonus action. So
no, it actually counts as a second action, an actual action. But I've dashed, so I
Okay.
can't do anything else, can I?
no.
Okay, cool. That is
Okay.
all I'm doing.
Z.
Z is going to. She's going to run up, but loiter slightly behind because she's not as well armored as these guys, and she's a little bit scared of a giant because giants are scary.
That's a fairly reasonable phobia, I would say.
Yes.
Well, she
is,
has already
after all-
died once today.
She's already died once, and she is only a monk, so she's not prepared to meet her maker twice in one night.
Okay then. Oren.
Sorry. I'm not used to being called Orin.
Ben, sorry. Right, just to give you some indication of what's on these maps. See these like black dots?
Yeah.
These are all trees. So the black dot is the tree trunk, and the darker green is the bushes in the trees. Give you an idea of what cover's available.
Okay. Right. What's Orin's speed?
Would it still count as cover against a massive lump of masonry? Just out of
25.
curiosity.
Technically, yes. Just it might not be cover after the lump of masonry's hit it.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So I guess I will just have to dash 50 feet down to there, and I think that's it.
Okay.
I'll try and get to the others.
Cenza.
Oh, already. Okay. As an action, I am popping my wings out as a Radiant Soul. And then I am just going to go probably not the full 30 feet, but I'm going to just try and put a bit of space between us. Maybe
Sounds ever so sensible.
Okay, and then Naxine.
If I remember, Naxine is still flying, isn't she, as well?
How long does the fly spell last?
I don't know. She's been doing it for hours. In which case.
Up to 10 minutes, so she's not still flying.
Oh, yeah, definitely not still flying.
In fact, I think there have been some liberties taken there. Right, how fast can she move?
It'll be 30 feet because she's human.
It is 30, yeah.
By the way, as well, these are cornfields, so they will offer some hiding in the cornfields, and then these are paths going through the cornfields.
Okay.
How long until sunrise, Steve?
You reckon probably somewhere between a half an hour and an hour. A reasonable amount of time.
But we're not still going to be here in half an hour, are we?
Well, your bodies might.
Granted.
Right. Naxine is going to head towards that one on the left there, which gets her to about there. And then she's going to cast Firebolt, I think, at the giant on the left, over at that guy.
Okay. That is a miss.
I
The
remember
dart
when
was just this.
Naxine used to be really good.
That was unfortunate.
Back to Zanhorn.
Right, Zanhorn is going to, as Paul seems to be as Cenza appears to be approaching that giant on the left, he feels like he could do with some bardic inspiration. So, as a bonus action, you now have a bardic inspiration device. Dice.
Cool. Is that a D6?
I want to say yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've given any out. So that's one less bardic inspiration left. Okay, we'll do that. And then what can we do spell-wise? I think it would be wise to try and, well, discourage that one for a moment while we take care of it. So Zanhorn's going to cast Phantasmal Force, which is, whoa, a bit like that. So I'm going to try and craft an illusion that takes root in his mind, or her mind, not judging.
Oh, it's definitely a he.
His mind. So I think he needs to make an intelligence. Yep. So as far as he's concerned, he is now essentially on fire.
So which one's this one? The one next nearest the wall, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like there's fire all around him. There's fire on his arms and legs. He's essentially on fire. So
Okay.
So while you're affected by it, you can take damage from it. In fact.
Yes, you
Affected
take
target
1d6 of
convinced. Yeah. So if I do a d6. Yes.
6 damage to it. Okay, so it thinks it's on fire. It starts kind of batting it, trying to batten the fire out, but of course it's not doing anything because there's no actual fire there.
Yeah. But it's convinced that there is fire there.
So the rest of you just see this giant just kind of just swatting at itself, kind of going. Woo.
Fleas.
Really big fleas.
Really big fleas. So, it's Giant's turn.
Yes. So.
Bug.
So how long does that last? Oh, concentration 1 minute. Okay.
Sandhorn's concentrating.
Are you in range for that as well? Because that was 60-foot range.
Oh crap! I moved forward 30 feet. As the bottom left one.
Oh, but the one on the left, so it wasn't the one on the wall. Sorry.
No, it should have been this one.
Okay.
So I've had to get how close is 30 feet to there. Oh, stop measuring. Actually, move the thing. Come on, Xandhorn, you can do this. There we go. He got to there.
Okay, so the giant next to the wall again grabs another boulder and he throws it at Orin. And he hits armor class 11. But...
too many windows open. Armor class 11.
And he does 18 bludgeoning damage.
Which one is it? Is it the red circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a goner.
Right.
He's on 9.
I don't
He's
think
just
I've
like-
introduced the concept of massive damage. Is that his full health?
Well, he's currently on 9.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that was his full health. Yes, so he's
Yes.
just taken twice his.
Right. He's taken twice his maximum health, so that's instant death for him. Yeah. He's now just a smear across the floor.
Orin, first patch, now Orin.
This is rubbish.
First Benjin, then patch, now Orin.
Of course.
Right.
Benjin? Who's that?
So this giant here is too busy swatting himself away, trying to get rid of the fire at this point, to kind of thing, and he kind of staggers around a little bit. So, Haval.
Okay. This time I'm going to. I'm going to go hide in the bushes.
Ever so honourable.
I'm going to sneak through, but wait for it. I've got one more trick up my sleeve, which is this. That is rubbish. That is brilliant. I've now got a weasel and a giant rat.
Sandhorn will be like, I'm still waiting for the trick. Where's the trick?
Look, I'm going to give this rat very specific, very uncomfortable instructions. So I'm going to throw the rat. I can throw the rat 20 feet.
Okay.
Poor rat.
Oh, wrong one. We should just. Yeah, so I'm gonna send the rat to scurry up the giant's leg and bite him in the unmentionables.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he's on fire.
He's on fire, and a giant rat is now. I can't seem to pick up that rat, Steve.
I can't even see it. Hang on. I need to, for some reason it's not even letting me see the rat, which is a bit annoying.
I assume that's the rat. That's the little.
Oh yeah,
thing.
there it is. It's all right. I just need to give you control. That's all.
Cool.
Control pie. There we go. You should now be able to use that.
Lovely. So the rat is now attacking. So that's my bonus action, which means the weasel does nothing.
Yeah. So you can
Lovely.
make an attack roll with the
giant rat.
giant rat.
It's just the rat has advantage on an attack roll against a creature of at least one. No, it just has a bite attack.
It actually does four. No, it doesn't actually. No, it doesn't do damage. Sorry. But let's see if it gets distracted by it, shall we? Bearing in mind it's on fire. Oh, it should be the first roll. No, it kind of just brushes out of the way. It's like us with a fly. It just too bored about it being on fire at this point.
That's okay.
Steve, I might have screwed up slightly. I think it's actually on a point, 10-foot cube. So if it moved, it would have started to move out of that area.
Okay. I'll assume for this point that you've managed to try and move it with it.
All right.
It's all right.
Z is going to saddle up next to Haval on the other side of the forest to do their sneak attack next turn.
Okay. Cenza.
Okay, I'm going to move 30 feet to the left. So about there. And I am going to toll the dead on the one on the left. So DC 14 wisdom saving throw.
Which it
Yeah.
makes.
It does nothing.
It does nothing. Okay, Maxine.
So I need to ask a question about the suggestion spell.
Okay.
It says the suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable, asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, or immolate itself, do some other obviously harmful act ends the spell. Would that include throwing boulders at its mate? So it's not injuring itself.
Yeah, well, it depends what the action is you suggest.
So if I was to say to her, if she was to wander up to it and say something along the lines of, the only way to put fire out is to throw boulders southeast.
Ooh, it's got to sound reasonable.
So everyone knows that whirling boulders around you and then throwing them to absorb the fire and throw it away is a good idea.
So I would give it.
Oh, I tell you what. How about it? If it reaches towards the tree, grabs some branches, swats at the fire, and then throws the branches southeast to get rid of the fire. There we go.
That's a bit specific for suggestion.
Okay.
Suggestion should be more along the lines of course of activity. So yeah. Okay, I'll give it a chance. You give it a go because it's going to make a wisdom save.
So she needs to get closer first anyway, because it needs to be...
Yeah, because it's a 30-feet range.
Yeah, so let's just check. So 30 foot is there. So she needs to get to there, which is doable.
So are you going to go for the throw a rock at the other... so what exactly is your suggestion then? Word your suggestion exactly as you'd say it.
So the suggestion is, dear giant, that in order to put the fire out, you must... take the fire, that big stony fire, and throw it southeast.
Okay. That's a wisdom save, yeah?
It is, yeah.
That big stony.
And it gets 17. It makes the save.
Son of a...
I probably would have gone with put the fire out with the big rocks. Just hit itself with a
Yeah,
rock.
but as soon as it hurts itself, the spell ends, so...
Oh, okay, yeah, good point. No.
Okay. Zanhorn.
It's difficult having two characters right next to each other. Getting a feel for what it's like to be a DM. Right. There's no way this thing's going to have low enough hit points that sleep's going to work on it. No way. So Zanhorn's going to do what Zanhorn does best. Go and hide in the bushes. And since everyone else seems to have got that one on the left and he's still concentrating on making sure that it thinks it's on fire, he's going to have a look at the one on the other side. Assuming that it's within a reasonable range. So crossbow, that's... it's quite a way, isn't it?
Yep.
80, 320. So it'll be long range. I'll go for the nearest one then. So he'll take a shot at the nearest one with his light crossbow.
That's a miss.
Fortunately, because he's concentrating so hard on making sure it thinks it's on fire, it turns out firing a crossbow at the same time is quite tricky.
Okay, so you need to roll for your fire damage as well from the Phantasmal Force again.
Yep.
Okay.
3's not bad. As in, it's better than 1.
So, first the thing it does is it takes a swat at Patch on it.
What?
So, what's Patch's armor class?
Oh, the little bubbles aren't populating. The armor class 12.
12. It
Right.
misses. So it tries to swat it again. Stupid thing.
Oh,
Surely it should hit itself if it misses.
It's kind of like you would with like a wasp or something.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like.
Right.
Seeing this, can Zanhorn yell some cutting words?
Is that a reaction?
It is a reaction, yep.
Go on then.
To add a d6 to... sorry, to subtract a d6. Is that going to make a difference?
not if it's 12.
No, never mind. He's trying to think about some words, but he's still concentrating on trying to fire the arrows and keep them on fire, so it doesn't quite come off.
Ben, do you want to take control of one of the other NPCs?
Have other people already got control of it?
Yeah, but we can transfer it over. I'm just conscious that
If you
your
want to take
main
over
character is
Naxine, that would
unconscious.
help me quite a lot. Fancy being a spellcaster for a little bit.
I will try, but I'm afraid I will probably slow the game down by
So I actually only got like 2 spell slots left anyway.
doing that.
hang on, let me transfer back over to you then.
Hang on, I'm going to have to move all my windows around.
Right, there you go, Ben. You should now be able to access her. So she's got 1 third level spell slot left. So she's got a lightning bolt or a fly left. She's got 1 second level spell left, which is either Misty Step or Suggestion, and she's got her cantrips left.
So to give you some idea, I was planning on doing a lightning bolt and some suggestion, possibly not in that order.
Say that again. She's got 1.
She's got 1 third level spell left, so it's either lightning bolt or fly. 1 second level spell left, which is either Misty Step, Suggestion, or she can cast something like Magic Missile at a higher level. And then, of course, she's got her cantrips, which I can imagine you're probably going to be using is Firebolt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you say obviously I can do it at a higher level,
So
no.
you can cast spells at a higher level than what you do. So you've got 2, for instance, you've got 1 second level slot left and 1 third level slot left. So you could cast any of the spells at 3rd level or any of the spells at 2nd level. So for instance, if you cast Magic Missile, it will do more damage. If you're not sure what things do, if you use the info button on the compendium on the top right and do a search there, that'll tell you what spells do. Or you can press the gear button next to spell description in Naxine's character class.
Right. Or I could just guess and make it up as I go along.
Yeah, I mean, Lightning Bolt's a pretty obvious spell. It casts a Lightning Bolt.
So where
Okay,
am I?
so Yeah, there. So, this giant here hasn't done anything yet, has he? He will throw a rock at Zanhorn, but Zanhorn is under the cover of the trees. So, Zanhorn, you'll get a +2 armor class bonus. However, he is at a distance of. Yep, so he gets disadvantage. So it hits class 20, but I don't think that's enough to help you.
Got 15.
So take 16 damage.
And that probably breaks his concentration as well, I suspect.
You have to make a Constitution save, difficulty 10.
Okay.
No, Constitution, yeah.
Oh,
You've made
Yeah.
the concentration.
tis but a scratch.
Haval.
Okay, so gently, easily, slowly. So I'm going to move somewhat into the forest, ready to make my attack next turn. I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on that giant.
Okay.
Oh, what does it do if I cast it at higher levels? I've never cast the spell at a higher level before. Third or fourth level. Okay. I don't have a third or fourth level slot yet. Okay. So I'm just going to cast that. So I now do an extra d6 of damage against the giant. Only that giant when I attack it.
Okay.
So I've done that. I've walked forward and I'm going to... That's a bonus action. So can I
attack.
use... I can still
Yeah.
attack, but I've got
You
no
can still
ranged
attack, yeah.
weapons. So if I... Can I command Patch to attack the giant again?
Yes.
Okay, so I shall do that. That'll do.
Pat does 3 damage. At the moment, the giant is being attacked by a rat and some illusionary fire.
For the time being, it's about to change. It's going to change in a big way next turn.
That's what he said about the
Okay.
patches.
Z.
Z. Oh, no, is that me still? Yes, that is still me. Z's going to sidle up and keep in close. However, she, being armed with a tiny little, what's it called?
Stick.
Slingshot.
Slingshot
Yeah.
or something.
She's
Yeah.
got a slingshot. I need to open up her character. 1 second. She's going to take a firing shot. Now, she's only got 9 of these. I think she's used a couple already. But I wasn't controlling that. So I don't think there's anywhere for me to write down where they go.
No, I just need to make a note of that separately.
She's
I
used
think
one.
she used 1 last turn, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to do that.
That's a hit.
Whoosh.
Yep. So it's like stone pings off its forehead. It goes, ooh!
It's all right.
Cenza.
Okay, I am going to try and guiding bolt it.
That's a
Ooh,
hit.
Excellent. And because I've got my wings popped, I can add +4 radiant damage to that, so it takes 16.
Ooh. So you hit it with a blast of holy energy square in the chest.
And the next attack roll against it has advantage.
Ah. Maxine, you have advantage on the next attack roll.
On against which?
Against
It's this one
Giant
here.
Right.
one.
Right. Okay. I'll try the firebolt. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I'll move so I've got a bit of cover from the tree. So there. And then I presume I'm within range there. Yeah, must be. Right. I need a bigger screen.
Or multiple screens. Or multiple
I've got
bigger screens.
Yeah, I've got 2 at the moment. It's not enough. That didn't do anything, did
You
it?
have advantage.
Advantage.
Should I just press it again?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes!
Right. I am going to be... Right, technically that's your first damage roll as well. So you should do the 16 plus the 9. So actually you do 23 bolts of damage. So guided by Cenza's holy light, you summon a bolt of firing energy and spoom straight into its big fat stomach. And you can see it physically flinch from the blast you've just given it.
Gherkin! And it just flinches, that's it.
You're talking about a 16-foot tall fat man, basically. So what did I say that was? That was 25 damage. Bloody hell.
That's impressive.
Well, plus the 8 that I did with a slingshot and a rat. Let's not forget that. All right.
We'll gloss over the 9 that's unhaunted with mere words.
Zanhorn.
Yes. Good point. I've just got him. Great. Well, safely ensconced in the trees, although last time... Guys, I'm not being funny, but we've already lost 2 of our party. And that last one hurt. I mean, like a lot. We don't seem to have even taken one down. You say that we need to save the village, but maybe we should save ourselves first so that we can come back and save the village?
By the time we run away, they'll just pelt us with more boulders as we run.
But at least we'll be running away and they will fall into the distance, perhaps? So that we can outrun the boulders?
While there is a fight to have, I will fight. I will stand here and I will defend this town. If you need to go, you can take my horse and you can go.
Fine.
Look,
More dastardly heroics.
At least come here. Let's attack this giant all together. Look, while you're here, while you're near me, I can protect you. Literally.
Okay. Very well. You've strengthened his resolve. Zanhorn's going to cast Bardic Inspiration on himself. Because he just doesn't fancy his chances right now. So we'll do that. And then he'll take aim. Now that he's not concentrating on making sure the thing thinks it's on fire, he's going to take good aim at that one that we've already been dealing some damage to.
Are you no longer concentrating on the...
Well, I got hit by a boulder, so I assume that broke it.
No, you
No.
made it. It's been a constitution save.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind that. Still concentrating. It still thinks it's on fire. Excellent. Yes, short memory John, they call me. Right. Whilst he's doing that, this time taking a little bit more care, he's going to line up with his crossbow and do the same thing again.
It's hard to miss a big fat 16-foot tall man, but your crossbow just kind of like bounces off the blubber and leathery skin of the thing.
Unless I add my Bardic Inspiration.
Inspiration.
D6, I said, didn't I?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. A 1, really?
He bravely ran away, ran away.
This will be the epitaph on my tombstone. I hope you realise that, Val.
How injured are you? I mean, how much fight is left in you?
14.
Not a lot.
On a scale of 1 to 30, about 14.
Are you going to move as well, John?
I'm going to try and move more deeply into the woods.
As I said, so that's like a tree, and the black thing is the tree trunk. So,
Zanhorn, come here. I can protect you. Just stand near me, like within 5 feet.
Done. Zanhorn's going to cower between Haval and the tree. I wasn't built for this sort of stuff. I was supposed to be a performer.
Okay, so this giant no longer gets a clear shot.
Where's
So
Benjin when you need him?
he decides it's time to see what's going on. And so trundles forward. Whereas this one is still trying to spat away this rat that's ferret up its trousers. Oh, sorry, that should have a normal. However, the first roll was 27, so he's just squished a rat.
Hang on. He might have the hit points to kind of.
16 damage he did.
Where does it say his health? Where is it?
It's that very small number over there.
I can't actually see it.
I think a giant rat is something like 6.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can't. Oh no, 7.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Found
no.
it. I found it. Rat be gone. Okay, that's. I still got a weasel.
So he comes up here and he is going to attack Haval.
No. Okay. He glances off the armor. He's so distracted by the rat he just smashed.
Okay, now Haval.
Okay. Well, that kind of changes things a little bit. So I'm going to drawing my sword, looking this creature straight into the crotch, I guess. Let's say, my name is Haval Mashinin. Decorum dictates that you should be introduced to me, for I am the end of your wickedness. And that is my vow of enmity, which is a bonus action allowing me to have advantage on all my attacks.
Ooh.
Impressive.
Wrong button. Yes. Sorry. Vow of enmity against a creature I can see within 10 feet of me. Channel Divine, you gain advantage on attack rolls against this creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0. So I'm now going to hit it with my sword once I've put advantage mode on. Advantage mode is on.
Advantage mode engaged.
And take this, you vile beast.
That's a hit.
Plus a d6 because
Plus a D6,
he's...
yeah.
d6.
Nice.
14 points of
14
damage.
You can see now you're starting to wear it down. It's starting to look battered, bruised, and a little bit hazy.
We shall fall soon, chaps. Don't
Will
worry.
it never fall?
Right, Z.
Z, emboldened by the massive bravery she's just seen from Haval, who she's starting to develop a little bit of a crush on.
It's funny how her attentions change so rapidly. Because last week she was really quite taken by Zanhorn, I seem to remember.
Was she? I don't remember that. I don't remember. So she's going to strut up and she's going to strike with her quarterstaff.
I think she gets 2 attacks with the
And
quarterstaff.
she
doesn't
does
she?
get 2 attacks with the quarterstaff. Oh dear.
Both of which were terrible.
Both of which. She's still quite daunted by the fact that she's fighting a giant. This
Yes.
is beyond her wildest nightmare. This is.
Yeah.
And she's still kind of looking at Haval longingly.
Cenza, who I should imagine is not looking longingly at Haval.
Oh no, Cenza's got a bit of a soft spot for Maxine, to be honest. So,
If it helps, Haval is carrying a book.
oh, hello.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I've moved down there and I'm tolling the dead.
DC 14
14.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Does it when you do it?
Yeah. So it takes the 4 necrotic plus 4 radiant from me having my wings out.
So does
8 total.
Impressive.
okay.
Oh,
Maxine.
right.
Critical firebolt. Critical firebolt. go Firebolt. Nice.
He did go Firebolt. Nice. Hit it square in the face. Which does that to it. Puts it on that. So you hit it square in the face, and it puts its hands to its face and goes, "Ah! and just bowls over its face, blubbing like a baby. And it kind of goes into this kind of weird fetal position on its knees and puts its hands over its head and goes,
What did I do to it?
Don't you speak giant? Oh no, you don't speak giant. Do you?
No. I don't know, actually.
Does she? But I think Benjin used to speak giant.
Yeah, Benjin speaks giant.
Used to speak giant. He doesn't anymore.
Oh, well, yeah.
Doesn't speak much at all anymore.
No.
It's cruel to speak badly of the dead.
I'm just concerned with what they're doing with my corpse. Or
Sandhorn.
doing to my corpse.
Sandhorn's going to look down at this giant like, hey, it's not right to ask if you're okay, but what the hell?
I can't go back to go without food.
Well, don't go back.
Go hit us. Go kill us.
Can't imagine. Who's Ghoul? Girl? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Girl. Who's girl?
Go, Chief Go.
Another giant.
Big giant, bigger than me.
Well, I mean, there's two of you. So if you guys,
the other one, by the way, is kind of stamping towards you with purpose now.
Oh crap! Is there anything you can do to dissuade him from killing us? Since we've spared your life.
Puts its hands on its head. Just...
Oh crap! Sandhorn's going to peek around the tree at the other one and yell at the top of his voice, assuming that it's not close enough. Damn it! He's going to wait to yell.
Are you readying an action then, are you?
He's going to ready some vicious mockery at the other one to say, we felled one. Come any closer, we'll fell you too. Or we could help you.
Okay. What are you doing with the phantasmal force? Because this giant still thinks it's on fire.
So I'll look back around at the guy and like, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you promise to be a good giant, and that's it, we're friends now, then I guess I can do this. And he'll turn the fire off.
Make a persuasion check.
Go on, John.
Okay.
So
It just
usually
keeps
low.
on. It keeps on sobbing, but you're not quite sure if you heard a yes or a no coming out of it. But it just goes into this weird fetal position on its knees now.
I assume it was.
Okay, so this hill giant. So this one now just stays there sobbing. Whereas this one starts making its way forward. What have you done?
It's still out of range of my
Knob.
vicious mockery. So
Actually, it would probably run forward, to be fair. So it can use its action to dash.
all right.
And it's going to come around here. And you hear it, yeah, it goes, "Lob, you big baby!" So, okay, do the vicious mockery then.
Here we go. I had one prepared. Now, where's it gone?
I've got one here. Yep, DC Wisdom. It has failed its Wisdom check.
What's that smell?
Takes-
I thought breath weapons were supposed to come out of your mouth.
Is it my end or is it Steve's end?
What's the
Looks
matter?
like you've frozen again, Ben.
Oh,
No, I
Oh,
think it's
no,
just not
maybe
moving
not.
very much.
just moved.
I couldn't hear anything of what Steve said. Was it my end Or is it Steve? Or is it?
Yeah, that's
Your end.
So you heard Steve fine.
Yeah.
Bugger. Okay.
Okay, Haval.
So turning to this blubbering giant in front of me. Do surrender.
Yes.
On my honor, I won't attack you then. You stay here and you don't raise another weapon to me and you'll be fine. Understood?
Okay.
What is this other giant? What's your friend's name?
Ugh.
How can I get Ugg to stop attacking us? How can I get him to stop attacking this town?
Give him food.
What say you, men? Shall we try and bribe him with food?
Zanhorn's already hunting around in his bag for his rations. Here we go. No point in having
I'm
these
too
when
far
we're dead.
away to hear.
Okay. I am going to, against my better judgment, move over here and yell at this stupid giant. Halt! Stop this rampage and we'll give you food.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Sorry, still had advantage on.
It's all right. I'll take the first roll.
Attack also.
So it kind of goes, duh? You give us food?
To cease this mindless violence, yes. But swear you'll cause no more damage to me, my friends, or this town.
Duh. I can swear.
Give me your word. You will not hurt anyone here, and I'll see you have food.
I don't know my word.
It's like the
Do you know
goblins
what
all
a
over
promise
again.
is? Do you know promise?
Promise. Yeah, I know promise.
Good.
I promise to go get food for Gur.
I promise I will give you food if you don't hurt anyone.
It pulls that sack off its belt and just dumps it in front. He goes, put food in bag.
I will put food in this bag, and you sit and you wait here. Agreed?
Okay. Just plonks its bum on the ground.
Zanhorn will get out one of his ration bars and be like, you saw how we dropped your friend to his knees? Magic food, smaller than it looks. And he'll drop the ration back in the
won't
sack.
Feed good. Right. Persuasion check on that one, please, Mr. Cage.
God damn it.
Magic food. Will it feed Gur? Will it make her bigger?
Yep.
It won't not.
Okay. Any more magic food?
Well,
actually, I have some magic seeds here in my pocket. See, when planted, and if you water them and treat them well, they will grow into bountiful food that will feed you and all your kind for a very long time. It's the sweetest, most succulent food ever tasted, and if made correctly, you can even make wine with it.
No.
Does
We ain't
Ugg
got
like
time
wine?
to grow. Gur. Chief Gur wants food now.
Ah, but what I've given you is the promise of food later as well.
Gur ain't hungry later. Gur's hungry now.
So you don't want these magic seeds?
No. Magic food or pigs or cows.
tell you what, you drive a hard bargain. Zanhorn will like root around again. Okay, but this is basically the last of our magic food. This was going to keep us going for like a year. So, well, I hope she's hungry.
plonk it into the bag,
Yeah.
and you sure you hear when you throw it in the sound of a pig squealing, and then he looks into it, goes, "No, don't eat that," and then takes the food out of the bag and puts it somewhere else. Puts it on a smaller bag on its thing. Come on then, Lob. Let's go back. Lob comes up and goes, "Have we got enough? Well, go shout at us if we haven't got enough." And Lob goes to it. "Now we got magic food now. We'll be good."
Sandhorn will
Okay.
nod. Like,
Where are you going? Do you need some help to convince Goo about the magic food?
Possibly. We's going to Gruth Haug home.
only
Where is-
we think you might have misunderstood and picked up one of our friends thinking he was food. I mean, he does smell a bit like food a lot of the time, so.
Was
Big-
he hairy man?
Yeah, that could be him.
Hairy man. He went to the boss.
Right.
Is
Great.
Gru not the boss?
Gru. Oh. No, Gru big boss. This
Right.
one, little boss.
Little-
I mean, he says like this high, as if like you and I would go like a child, but it's about 6 foot tall.
About
But-
Sandhorn's height.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want boss to try and eat our friend who is not food. That would make the boss very angry.
Also, he's poisonous, so
Yes.
We best tell boss. If little hairy man is poisonous, we best tell boss, don't we?
well, if
Come
you,
on, Lob.
if you need to go and tell
Gru.
girl, I've forgotten her name.
Girl.
Your boss, and the other boss is another way. We could go and sort that out for you. You know, fair's fair.
Right.
Yes. You must be in a rush. You go back to Goo. You tell us where, and we'll go see Little Boss.
Come on then. Come on, Lob.
Which
We
way to
can-
the Little Boss?
He points back at the wall over his shoulder. Come on then. And he picks Lob up by the scruff of his neck. There's still tears streaming down his face and like snotty nose you get after too much crying. He goes, "I don't want Gru to shout at me again. It's all right. We've got food now.
Magic food.
Magic food. Little man is right." So with that, they start heading back to the wall. Benjin.
Is dead. Surprise.
New character time.
You groggily wake up
I knew he wasn't dead.
and you test you.
Is there anything in my
muscles
bum?
aching.
Sorry, is there anything in Benjin's bum?
You are something barky, yes. You seem to be strapped to a tree, and your hands and legs are bound,
Okay.
and you seem to be woken by this little goblin going, "Eh, he's awake. Ah, I still reckon we stabs him in the eyes," says the other goblin who is hovering over you. "We don't need his eyes. Gru can eat him without the eyes, surely. Oi, get out of the way." And this bugbear pushes these two goblins out of the way. Rip pulls your head up and goes, "You awake, hairy man?"
Yeah.
"Boss is awake."
I presume I'm on 0 hit points.
You're on 1 hit point at the moment, so you
Oh,
are
wow.
alive, but barely holding on.
Okay.
This creature that steps forward, that you recognise as a hobgoblin. So it's in between like a goblin and a bugbear. So it's about 6 foot tall, and it's wearing chainmail armor, and the armor is kind of better kept than what you'd expect to see on goblins and hobgoblins.
Okay.
So he kind of looks you up and down and goes, Tell me where the food is kept."
I'm just going to literally tell him where to go.
To find the
Go.
food.
Fuck off, I think is the term. I don't even know where the food is. I only came into town, how long ago? 2 days ago? But even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you. If I wasn't strapped to this tree.
Well, you are strapped to a tree, aren't you? There's two options. We either kill you now, or we take you to the goo, who, it gives you a bit of a prod, we'll probably need to cook you slow. I don't think she'd... I see. We're going to play this game. That's fine. We just leave you here and watch the decimation of your city. In front of you, you can see the assembled forces. You see the outside of the wall, because you can see the breach in the wall roughly ahead of you. So you've been tied to a tree so you can view it.
So I'm in the city or outside?
You're outside at the moment. You can see the
Outside
breach
looking in.
outside. And you can see a miniature army. You can see several ogres, countless goblins, and a handful, 4 maybe, giants, all standing out in a line at about 120 feet from the wall.
Shitballs.
Also, at this point, you this other goblin this little pompous-looking goblin walks forward and goes, "Hey, that's him. That's the one." To which the hobgoblin looks down at it and goes, "Do you want?" "That's him. He came in, big group of them, came into my caves, killed all my clan, ran off with our food."
You're the twat in the back of the cave. Sorry, I can't point, can I? I'm tied to a tree. I
That's
nod
him.
in his
He
direction.
recognizes me. See, that's him. So Hobgoblin looks down and goes, "So where was this?" He goes, "Other side of the forest. Town. We had the whole town prisoners. We're going to eat them all." To which the Hobgoblin shrubs. "So food for Gur, you say?" "Yeah, tasty commoners, villagers, well fed. But I reckon we kill him now." He starts pulling out a knife. Which the Hobgoblin pushes him to a side and goes, "No, he's for Gur." "Well, thank you, Hark. I think you've given us enough information for now. Well done for volunteering, Hark. Well done for volunteering, Hark." "Volunteering? Volunteering for what?" "Well, you're a leader, a mighty leader of goblins, are you not?" "Yeah, I am." "Well, then you should be the first goblin in our assault across the wall." Yeah, I can lead the charge. Mighty warrior, me. Good. He talks to one of the bugbears. "Load him into one of the hookers." You see one of the bugbears, there's a startled look on Hark's face as you see one of the bugbears grab him up, and an ogre trundles up. And strapped to the back of the ogre's back, so he's hunched over, is this huge catapult. The bugbear smacks Hook round the head to knock him out, sticks him into the catapult, to which the Hobgoblin goes, "Fire!" There's a sound of several twangs as about 6 of these catapults fire within a second of each other, and goblins are launched over the wall.
Unconscious goblins, or was it just the one that was unconscious?
From the other side of the wall, you guys have just heard Luganog and
What was the hobgoblin called? Sorry.
He didn't give you a name.
Oh, okay.
From the other side of the wall, as Lob and Og are starting to get themselves together and moving back to the wall, you can hear a noise, and some of it sounds like a whistling, and some of it sounds like
Zan-
as
Go on.
as something splats into the ground in front of you, obviously projected from great speed.
Zanhorn will jump like, crap, another rock. No, that's much gooier than a rock.
It's a lot gooier than a rock.
Was that?
Fascinating.
Is that? Cenza, what is that?
Can I make some sort of check to see if I recognise the remains?
Make an investigation check, yes.
Investigation, is that one?
It was a goblin.
Yeah.
And this particular goblin,
Oh.
it's just been. It also seems to be wearing some kind of spiked helmet as well to aid it as a projectile.
Are they?
So I'll kind of take my mace out and just prod it, and oh look, I think yes, green skin there. Yes, I think this was a goblin.
Have they run out of rocks or something? Hang on. What just threw that? Should we?
Yes.
The bells are still going, aren't they?
Yeah, so the bells are still going, and you can see torchlights coming through the fields heading towards you. You can see more guards are heading your way.
Is it possible for me to try and undo the whilst this is going on from behind my back? Or is there anything?
So what are you going to try and do to? Are you going to try and force the rope, or are you going to try and untie it, or what?
Ooh. I suppose I'm quite strong. I could just see if I could sort of snap it behind my back, but without letting them see.
Okay, make a strength check.
Okay. So that check. Sorry, strength. Hang on. How do I do a strength check?
Just click on strength.
Oh, and where about? Oh, there.
The great big strength bit. There you go. Impressive.
As you push, you can feel the knots are starting to loosen. You've probably frayed a couple of edges there.
Okay. So just got it going a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do I try again, or do I have to wait a while?
You'd have to wait a little while to give it another go.
Cool. Right.
Okay. So what the other go? So even with all the projectiles, Lobanog kind of duck and goes, "I've started the goblin hookers," and start making their way towards the wall.
Zanhorn's going to look back at the fields and see if he can see any of the guards approaching.
Yeah, there's a large contingent of guards starting to head forwards now, and leading them on a mighty fine horse is Strom, the half-orc captain of the guard.
Zanhorn's going to yell at the top of his voice, "The attack started! Get to the wall!"
You see most of the guards trying to start to run forwards, in which Strom holds up his hand and goes, "Men, to your positions on the wall." At which point they all start moving forward. At which point, I take it you climb. Lobanog now are starting to clamber over the wall.
I think I'm going to look at the Haval and Cenza and the rest of our party and just say, well, I mean, we've come this far. Benjin's that way anyway. If we're going to stand a chance of getting him back, I think we've got to get up on that wall and
I think so.
and help the fight. So we'll run after them.
Okay.
Zanhorn, do you need healing at all?
Yes. I mean, I'm sure I'll be fine, but a little healing wouldn't hurt. I think that might have
Cenza,
sent me a bit funny, that last hit.
Cenza, with what's ahead of us, how are you equipped to?
I'm
heal,
fine. My magical reserves are running very low, and I'm to save the last one to heal Benjin if he's in a state that he needs it.
Very good. Maxine, what about you? How are you fixed to be able to help us in our quest as we continue? Who looks after
Sorry. I was muted.
Yeah. Does she have any healing spells, Ben?
I don't believe she does.
She won't.
No.
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 Okay. In which case, I have one. I have the ability to cast one Cure Wounds, and I have Lay on Hands. So, Zanhorn, if you need to, I can place my hands upon the wound and heal you.
Zanhorn sort of gestures to like basically most of him. Like it hurts here.
Well, we'll start. We'll start here then. So, just having a quick read of it.
It's all right.
Best as you have full healing with issues.
While Haval's uttering his healing bits and pieces, Zanhorn will turn to the giants and say, "You know, if Gur is such a cruel master, I dare say the village could overlook your attack on us if you were to help us defend it now."
No, we go back to Gur.
We are a band of mighty warriors. With your help, we could keep you guys fed and not beaten on for a very long time.
Gur, but scary. Gur will hit us. Gur will shout at us.
Not if you don't go back to Gur.
No, we go back to Gur.
Right. Well, it's worth a shot.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a good day for Zanhorn. 5's not going to cut it.
Okay, so you make your way onto the top of the wall. I said Lob and Og are starting to make their way down, and you can see various assembled forces. Most of them are clumped round these ogres here, which are ogres with catapults on their back, which bugbears are loading a goblin into the catapult and then firing it over the walls. You can just make out, just here on a slight hill, there is some kind of, by his demeanour and stance, he's got some kind of generalish kind of attitude, whereas most of the other goblins and hobgoblins are kind of crouched over and stooped. I think this one's kind of standing upright, surveying the field, and strapped to a tree next to him, you can see the bloodied body of Benjin.
Guys, look who it isn't. And I think he's wriggling. I think he might have lived.
Good.
He's probably dancing as usual.
Well,
As you're doing this, Storks, I said John, yeah.
John, Zanhorn has been healed for 15 points of health.
excellent.
On
Excellent work,
fire.
Kaval. Thank you very much.
That's right. That I can only do that for 5 more hit points.
I've got 29 out of 31. I'm good. That will
As
make
you're
all
surveying the
difference.
battlefield, Strog and his band of men kind of mount the walls, and all the archers line up against the walls at the top. And Strog surveys the battlefield. At this time, the goblins are still being fired, but they're kind of going overhead now into the field and missing you slightly as they take a bit of time to adjust their aim. Also, these giants here, you can see back in the trees, start throwing rocks at the wall as well.
Crap.
But they stop when they see Lob and Og like kind of climb onto the wall. Strog stops at this point and goes, "Aiding and abetting the enemy? You allowing these filthy hill giants to escape?"
No, we're preventing them from attacking you guys after they killed 3 of your regiments as they made their way towards the wall. You guys want to stop them? I honestly think we've got bigger things to worry about. And I'll just point at as another goblin sails overhead.
Archers on the ready. Take positions. It's all right. We'll handle it from here. Go back to the abbey.
If it's all the same by you, I think we'll just stick around and see if we can rescue our buddy over there. And I'll point at the tree. So if you could kindly, dear archers, avoid that tree, or at least the barbarian strung to it.
Hope you realise our priority will be to take out those artillery.
That sounds like a good place to start.
Okay. I'll tell my men not to aim for you. If you wish to go and rescue your friend, you'll have the cover of my platoon of archers.
Good to know.
Yes. Concentrate your fire on the artillery. Zanhorn,
but-
do you think...
He stands in front of the two. It's the two hill giants are looking at him, kind of confused now. Who's this one? I cannot let these two go.
Look, the town's in enough trouble because you've made some questionable decisions, and I'll just look
Are you
at...
questioning my authority, boy?
Yes, we are questioning
I'll just
your
point at the hole that we're standing above. Like, how do you think these got in here? We tried to warn you about this when we arrived. Lo and behold, the town's under attack. We've seen 3 people die at their hands.
And you're going to let the murderers escape?
We don't have time to stop them. Again, I'm going to point at the thing as another goblin just fires overhead.
One of the kind of Strug's kind of archers comes and goes, "Sir, we're taking heavy fire. We need orders. And what do you propose we do with these two?" Lob and Og look at each other and go, "What, us?"
I don't think we have much say in the matter, to be perfectly honest. I don't like the idea of people going without...
Psst, Zanhorn.
Sorry, hang on a sec.
Do you think we can convince these giants to carry us across the battlefield?
It's certainly worth a shot. And I imagine it'll look even better if one of us didn't look like a half-elf and in fact looked like one of their own.
In fact, if Cenza and I climbed into a bag each, and then you look like a 6-foot giant, whatever that looks like.
Not a giant, you idiot, another bugbear, but at least someone on their side.
All right. We can get across the entire battlefield unscathed, then attack from the rear.
It could work. We've done
Good
crazier.
It's the type of thing Benjin would do.
Well, to be honest, he'd already be halfway across the field, but...
Benjin was running across the field at this point.
But you're right, I'm sure he'd appreciate us coming to help him out if he's not already killed them all by the time we get there.
Cenza, what say you to this harebrained scam of mine?
It's the most logical plan we have. I'd rather not stroll across a battlefield and be, squashed.
Right then.
Anything to prevent that would make sense.
Strom, your men concentrate fire on the artillery. Avoid these two giants. Okay? Once the artillery's dealt with, go nuts. Okay? Have your swordsmen, spearmen protect this gap. Nothing is to come through except us when we're legging it. Okay?
Make an intimidation check.
An intimidation check, you say?
16's not bad.
Okay. He seems to kind of go, "Okay, I'll give you cover. And good luck."
Thank you.
And with
What's
that,
the giants called again? Are they Yob and Strob or something?
Log and Og.
Lob and Og.
Lob and Og, sorry.
Lob, Og, I have one more boon to ask of you. Can you
Do-
carry my friend and I in your bag?
They look at each other and go, "Yeah."
Good. In return for more magical food later, we'll carry my friend and I in the bags across the battlefield, across to your friends, okay?
Okay.
But as we are now friends, I shall warn you that when you next see me, run away.
Right. Okay.
Run home, okay?
Okay. So, Lob pulls down his bag and goes to grab you to put you in.
Right.
Stuffs you in his bag and grabs Cenza and puts you in the bag. It's not
Ow.
an empty bag, unfortunately, because you shuffle around in it and it's dark. but you get scratched by something that feels like it's a bear trap. And fumbling around, you can feel, but it's not. It's open. It's not latched. But fumbling around, you also feel like, hang on, that's an oar. That's a wooden oar, and a bucket with some rope attached to it.
Okay.
Quite random. Sandhorn will be like, it's not going to look great, you guys just coming across alone. So let's suggest that, that there's someone with you. And with that, Zanhorn will suddenly become a bugbear once again.
Okay.
And he'll go, right then, let's get this show on the road.
If we pull this off, it's going to be freaking awesome.
Think of the stories.
So with found Cenza in a bag, Lee and Maxine are taking cover behind the wall of the soldiers.
Yep.
So let's just put you off to one side. Have I missed Cenza as well? I have, haven't I?
Yeah, I'm not on here anywhere.
Meanwhile, can Benjin have another go?
Yes. I'll make another strength check.
Mm.
No, it's not quite frayed enough. It's
Still going.
Still going. Okay, right. So these two start walking towards here. And we need a bugbear, don't we? Led by a bugbear. So which way you? I take it you're heading this way towards where Benjin is, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, these like catapults attached to the ogres are loading in goblins and firing them across the wall. And as you're doing this as well, you get just below the line of the wall, and you hear Strug shout a command, and all of a sudden, it's a full-on battle as arrows are flying one way and goblins screaming in agony as they're screaming the other way. The goblin hookers adjust their aim, and some hit the front of the wall, and some hit some hit some of the archers on the wall, knocking them flying off. Whereas at the same time, the rocks from the giants thrown from the tree line start breaking apart the wall even further. Again, the odd one or two will knock out 3 or 4 archers in one go, and the other one starts crumbling the wall in other places. Maxine retaliates with fire bolts whizzing back and forth, and Lee, wherever she can, seems to be running back and forth, giving motivation to the archers. Whereas you kind of head forward to this area here, towards this hobgoblin is standing. Whereas Lob and Og kind of hundle forward, their heads ducked down so they don't get hit by anything. To which the hobgoblin here steps forward. What are you two doing?
There was too many. We thought we'd come back and fight the fight here.
Have you got anything?
Yeah, they got bags full and some magic food with it.
Magic food?
It'll feed people for a month. Really small but really powerful. Isn't that right, Lob and Og?
Yeah, magic food. Go like magic food. I don't trust you two idiots.
Let's dump the food under the trees and get in with a fight, yeah?
No. Get the food onto the wagons. Well, the fight at the gatehouse isn't going too well. This has been a disaster from the start because of those two morons. Load the food onto wagons and we'll start making our retreat back to Gruthhag.
Right.
We'll cover your retreat.
Lob, get on with it then.
Which way?
To the wagons, you heard him.
Which way are the wagons?
The Zanhorn bugbear will just look at the boss like...
That way, you morons! Pointing off towards there. Off to the side there.
Go on, go and get him on the wagons, and I'll go and get some I'll go and get some kit so we can defend ourselves. Bloody lost my sword.
We should have arranged for a secret word.
So these guys head into the tree line.
I will break from them where it seems appropriate. Just slip away from them.
Okay, and I'm gonna using my sword. I'm gonna cut a hole in the bag and jump out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
So you fall out the bag, to which spills out, as I said, a bucket with some rope on, an oar, and a wooden door as well. So,
are we there? Are we?
You're there.
Okay. Can I take the? How long is the rope? Can we take it?
Yeah, it's about 20 foot of rope there.
That should be just enough to tie up the feet of another giant in the forest.
It's worth a go.
It's worth a go. If
I
only
mean,
there was
it's
someone
worth a go.
stealthy. If only there was someone stealthy in our group who could sneak around the giant.
I'm pretty stealthy.
No,
I mean, I'm stealthy.
No, you're not, Sam.
I'm just not lucky.
Benjin, you can make another check now if you wish.
Okay. Is there anything around me that might help me, or that might help me if I get free, or anything of interest?
Basically, you can.
Ooh,
The
21.
The hobgoblin in front of you is surveying the battlefield, and you are, as I said, you're tied to a tree, but your kit, you can see your sword mat is not far away.
Okay.
It's kind of in a pile in front of you. Your weapons are in a pile in front of you. You still got everything else kind of with you.
Okay.
It's just your weapons are just a little bit in front next to where the hobgoblin is. You pull on the ropes and you can hear with a slight snap noise, you've managed to release the rope.
Okay. Is my bag close enough to sort of hook it with my foot and sneakily drag it a bit closer, or is it too far away?
You'd have to actually move away from the tree a little bit to do that.
But he's preoccupied with the fight, isn't he?
Yeah.
How far away is it? Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just out of reach.
Okay. Can I try and just slide forward a bit and just pull it a bit closer, and then sort of get back up towards a tree? So I'm just trying to get it closer within reach, but still look like I'm tied to the tree.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. Stealth check. Checks. Oh, wank. Someone's getting tied back to the tree.
So you shuffle forward, and the hobgoblin in front of you hears what you're doing and turns around. Right, up to the other guys. What are you guys doing?
I suggest, since I've got a means to do so, I should probably try and see what I can do to help Benjin free himself. So if you guys are happy with the rope and some general shots from the woods.
I was going to try and heal Benjin up a bit.
Okay.
Sort of try and get in close enough to cure wounds.
How close?
So I'm assuming he's pretty beat up. That's touch.
Right.
If I want to heal from range, it's 60 feet, I believe. I'm just double checking that. Yeah, 60 feet, but it does a lot less.
Okay.
And oh, look, we currently are exactly 60 feet. So what I could do is sneak up here, do a healing word, heal him a little bit, and then have a normal action.
Yep. I've also.
Okay, what were you thinking of, Al?
I was thinking that I'm just worried about this giant.
Yes.
We need to stop it. But then we also need to get to Benjin.
Look, I can get to Benjin. They won't know it's me. I mean,
Okay. If you go for Benjin, I'll take this rope and I'll try and tangle this giant up. Cenza, what are you going to try and heal Benjin from here?
I can heal Benjin if I get here,
Get where? Sorry.
where I've just
To the edge of the
pinged, kind of
tree
the
line.
edge of the forest.
Okay. I'm going to take my rope and I'm going to sneak up on this giant. This is the point. Oh, hang on. What time is it, Steve?
Sun is just coming up now.
So do I or do I not have new patches?
Yeah, you have new patches.
I'm going to first try and roll a low number. So I can get...
cue a direwolf.
This might be a double bluff.
No.
Yes! Okay, this is a weasel, if I remember. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to instruct the weasel to take a length of rope, and I'm gonna like almost like you would, like in Home Alone, where
Yeah.
he gets like a remote control car and a rope, and I'm gonna send Patch like around the giant's feet.
Okay.
Like Star
with
Wars.
this rope, like in Star Wars. yes, that's it, like an AT-AT. And that's the plan. With this rope,
Okay.
where I'm gonna stand much nearer. Where there's too many things open on my screen right now. So, and I'm going to tie off one end of the rope to a tree
Okay.
that the giant is conveniently stood right next to.
Right. Okay.
So that is
I-
what I'm doing.
Right. By the way, I'm not doing initiative at the moment because if I do that, this combat will get very, very messy. So I'm doing a very simplified version of what's going on here.
Mhm.
So you're doing that.
I'm going to
Cenza
hide behind
is
this tree and do that. Yeah.
Cenza is doing a remote healing touch.
Yep. So
So,
going there. My
okay.
healing word, and the healing word is sequacious.
Mm.
So
Four.
Benjin, you heal 5
5.
points.
5, thank you.
Oh, which is the minimum I can do.
Did you use your bardic inspiration?
I did not, but I can't use it on this
Oh yeah, okay.
because it's got added to a skill check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair point. Just checking generally. No
Yeah.
reason.
Okay. What are you doing, Zanhorn?
Zanhorn's going to make out that he could see that Benjin was about to escape, and so he is going to run full tilt to get up to Benjin. Why won't it let me select me? Oh, because it's not me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to run full tilt to get to Benjin and like grab hold of him from behind and go, huh, thought you could escape? You could
Okay.
stay right there.
So Benjin.
I wouldn't know, would I?
No.
No, so you release your bounds and you're just about to scoop this thing, and the hobgoblin in front of you notices and starts to go for his weapon. At which point, this bugbear comes from nowhere and grapples you.
But very quietly in his ear, I'm going to whisper, "It's Zanhorn."
Benjin,
Did I hear
you're
it?
doing... Yeah.
I sort of look at him. I'm like, I wasn't trying to escape. I was going to go for a piss, you idiot.
You better not piss on me.
Well, I might do if you don't let me go.
I'm going to look over at the boss.
He's very confused by this. Just tie him back up.
I'll make
It turns back to survey the battlefield, and you can see he's starting to look a little bit tetchy, a little bit worried because the sheer amount of arrows coming from this wall and taking out his goblin. But basically, he's killing the ammunition.
So he's distracted then, so I can, assuming I have figured out this is Zanhor.
I'll flash him a smile and a wink. It's unmistakably Zanhorn.
Right. I was thinking of a comedy way of checking, but I will just whisper to Zanhorn. I'll just sort of say, my bag. There's healing potions.
Zanhorn will surreptitiously have a look around and see if anyone else is looking at us at all.
This ogre here is ignoring you, and this bugbear here is heading back. In fact, this ogre here is heading back towards where these go.
Whoa!
Jesus, what?
Got him biggened.
He's heading back to where Lobanog were.
Meta.
Okay, I will.
So you can see like Benjin's obvious kit there, his bag, his weapons, and that are in a pile just out of reach of him.
I'll just.
Obviously, you've tied a shoelace, haven't you? Tender.
Oh yeah, I've just like put the rope on you. Like it's like the loosest. It's not even a knot. You're just holding it basically.
Right.
So I'll go and have a root in your bag and grab whatever healing potions like come to hand.
Okay.
And if the boss is still turned away from us, I will.
Yeah, he's busy barking out orders like "Take out those archers! There's the leader, go for him!" That kind of thing.
Yeah. So with my back to him, I'll uncork whichever one I found and just hand it to Benjin to like slug.
Well, you'll pour it down me because I've got
go on,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then I'll say to him very quietly now, the guys are in the trees. Let's join them.
Yeah. Why can't I get the potion of healing? I'm clicking on the potion of healing, and it's not. Oh, I have to manually do it, don't I?
Yeah, just do 2d4 roll.
It's 2. What is it? 2. Oh, 2d4 plus 2. Okay, sorry. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake.
4 hit points.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that 150 gold they are, aren't they? Something like that?
I think they're 50 gold.
Worth every copper.
I've got another one in there. Right, let's delete that.
I'm just going to whisper to Benjin, we don't have time for this.
No, so I'm on 8. So I grab my stuff.
So I'll whisper some healing words.
I get 7.
At which point I'll say, make a run for it. I'll be right behind you.
Right. Okay. So which way?
Left of the
Where's
giant.
the others?
Left of the giant, the outcrop, and I'll point that direction.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll start running that way then, I guess. How far can I run?
Should be able to dash that far, shouldn't he?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Okay.
So once I'm sure he's got a bit of a head start, I'll keep an eye out to see whether anyone's following and then run after him.
Okay. As you
Basically, I'll ready so that as soon as I see someone spotted that they've realised that he's got out, I'll peg it after him, as though I'm.
So Benjin runs forward, breaks out the trees. I said that the whole place is complete chaos at this moment. With goblins being firing everything, boulders going back and forth, arrows. So you duck through, and the giant, which is here, does see Benjin run from the trees, and he goes, "Human!" and steps forward to go grab him. At which point he finds his legs knocked up and falls flat on his face. the hobgoblins here look back because they hear this mighty crash as like trees and bushes get felled, and the bugbears go, "The levy's down. We're losing troops." To which the hobgoblin at the front evades, and you can see that he's lost like most of his goblins here. His ogres are looking back, and he gets a horn from his belt and gives 3 short blasts from the horn. Brr, brr, brr. Retreat! Retreat! To which everyone starts moving back into the woods.
Zanhorn
Quick,
will
up
just
in the
edge his way
trees.
around the tree as the boss runs past him.
Can you all make a stealth check, please? But I will give you advantage as everyone is confusing. So all do a stealth check with advantage, please.
That's more like it.
Hey!
Oh, right, hang on.
Yeah. Hang on.
Come on,
that's
Benjin,
impressive.
it's all on you.
4 with advantage. That takes some skill.
Stealth check. So that's under skills,
Stealth,
yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stealth skill, yep. Even though at one point it looks like one of the goblins rushing past sees the shining armor of a file hiding behind the bush, the kind of general sweep of retreating forces, the stampede through the forest, means that you're left kind of alone as everyone kind of makes their way back through these woods and gets away as quickly as they can. It's not long before the arrows coming down stop, and it's at this point as well that the sun is rising up, shedding some daylight on the area.
Cool. I'm gonna, assuming that the vast majority of the bad stuff's disappeared, I will once again resume Zanhorn's regular distinguished look. And clear his throat like, just take a toll, that one.
Good enough story for you, Zanhorn?
Oh, this is going to be epic. I mean, they're always epic, but this one, when you have a little more truth to work with.
So the first thing Benjin's going to do is ask after Leafless. He's going to be like, guys, did Leafless make it?
Zanhorn will drop his gaze and put his hand on Benjin's shoulder and just go, I'm sorry, Benjin. I'm sure he put a valiant fight up, but...
All we found were matchsticks.
Zanhorn will try and stifle a laugh. It's not funny.
Benjin looks genuinely a little hurt and also a little angry. He's going to be.
Look.
Then he thanks Zanhorn and the others for saving him.
We lost a lot of people to that attack, and I think Leafless was one of those.
One of many good men that died today.
And elks.
And elks.
Oh no, not Patches.
It's alright, he's magical, he'll come back, it's fine.
Strictly speaking, he didn't die.
No, he just turned back into a ball again.
Yep.
Yes. He turned into the ball of fluff of which he was made.
Yes.
It's the circle of life.
Yes. I've got new patch sat on my shoulder right now. Giant rat. A weasel, in fact. Say hello, Patch.
Squeak.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
So of course I've got to. In fact, I've also got to tell them that I saw from when we're in the caves, little cunty McCunt face who ran away, the little goblin. He was here. He is no longer. He was loaded into a, and he laughs.
He
was loaded. He was loaded into a catapult and fired.
I
Good
thought
job.
those splattered remains
Because
looked
we
familiar.
were so good. But whatever was going on in the caves is connected to what's going on here. It was much bigger.
Interesting.
There's something much bigger going on.
Well, the giants that you saw accompany the bugbear that I was, whose names were Lob and Og. They also mentioned that they were taking food back to feed Gur, or the goo.
Yes.
Gur. I think it was Gur, because apparently that's who I was going to be having dinner with. Or should I say, I was going to be dinner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's a good job
would
we
have
got to you.
thought-
Unless
you
I
did
used
ringing.
my charms, because I believe she was a lady.
She probably would have just killed you.
One way or another.
Yep. So I guess we're walking back towards town while we're
Okay,
be
so
logical.
catching up.
So you make your way back to the wall where Maxine and Lee help you back onto the wall. And Strug is congratulating his men, going, "You've fought violently today. My leadership was outstanding and led the way, of course."
Sandhorn will cough.
Now remind me, who is Strog?
Strug
Captain
is
of the guard.
Captain of the Guard, the half-orc Captain of the Guard. Who lived in
I'm
the
going to
Royal-
go up to him and I'm going to grab him by the pin him to the wall and say, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? Look at the hole in the wall. You're trying to take credit for something when you've let this happen yourself."
He's
And
kind
I'm
of
going to
flab-
basically, I'm going to be throttling him so much. I'm sort of not trying to damage him, but I'm trying to show him who's boss and also almost make him piss himself in front of the rest of his colleagues.
Sandhorn
Okay,
looks
so-
across at the other guys like, for once, I don't think I'm going to stop him.
We've lost men. I basically died. I don't know what they were going to do to me.
Can you
And
make
you
a...
are trying to congratulate your men for this farce.
Can you make a strength check first, because he will try and resist you?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
This is where it's going to go horribly wrong. Strength check. So I just click on strength.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that it?
Yeah. So you pin him against the wall, but he is a half orc. He's quite a big chap himself, and he kind of just shrugs off. But I also want you to make an intimidation check. You can do it with disadvantage now because you weren't strong enough to pin him against the wall.
Intimidation. Disadvantage. Oh, that didn't work, did it?
So even though everyone around you is kind of like, "Oh, we're staying away from Benjin," he's angry. He kind of looks you down and just goes, "I appreciate your sentiments, Barbarian, but not in front of my men."
At which point,
I suggest you rest, dress your wounds, and this will be discussed with the abbot when everyone is healed.
and yeah, okay. So I know when I don't back down, but
Benjin.
I'll say we will discuss this again.
Benjin, for now, let's get you better. Because of this prick here.
And as
I kind of look very slightly surprised that Harwell's agreeing with me.
I guess we'll all like
you
walk
rested.
past him, and as we do, Zanhorn will like give him a glare, like, huh, yeah.
I'd like to check on Madame Maxine. Just check she's okay.
Swab.
She wasn't hurt too much.
She's very appreciative of your concern, Cenza. That's very kind of you. I suggest we meet up once we've all rested. I have matters to discuss, she says.
Indeed, I feel a discussion is in order.
Interesting.
Thank you for your assistance.
I'm just going to have a quiet word with Strom myself. Far more subtly than Benjin did it, but I'm going to lean in and say to him, "You are a disgrace to that uniform and that title. You should never let this happen." All
He
the
just
lives
puffs-
lost.
He
Run.
puffs at his chest and just kind of like glances past you and ignores you.
What a dick.
You're a coward.
Zanhorn's already off towards the pub to begin. Well, I mean, he's got various ideas about incredible stories that he could start singing.
Okay.
So, limping back with several of the soldiers and such like, it takes you a good hour or so to get back to where the centre of town, the tavern is. Basically, everyone is awake at this point and around. It's a hive of activity as people are taking stock of things, people are moving dead bodies to one side. Lee and Maxine accompany you. And when you get as far as the Abbey, Lee says, I suggest you fine folks go back to the inn and rest up. He says, no doubt the abbot will wish to speak to you, and I don't know what your future plans are, but please speak to me before you leave, if you're planning on leaving.
Well,
We
we
will
do have
speak
more
to the
work
abbot.
to do.
Thank you
And,
for all your aid, Lee. It's been invaluable, and sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
And also Naxine, so you then accompany Naxine back to the inn. Now, unfortunately, the inn's landlord was the first casualty of the first fight. So thankfully, his wife and children appear to be, and servants appear to be running, but there's a definite dejected look. They brighten up a little bit when they see you, because many of them actually were at the edge of the town square when these events were happening, and they kind of appreciative, and they, at one point, his wife takes you to one side and says, "You did your best. It wasn't your fault. Please head off. If you want some food prepared, we can get some food for you."
Zanhorn
We
will,
won't trouble you for this.
Zanhorn will
suffered.
wander up to the stage and he'll play quite a melancholy tune that sings of her husband's bravery during the fight.
Can you do a? No, I'm not going to do a performance check. I'm going to do everyone. Everyone nods appreciatively, and there's a few wet eyes in the house.
Yeah.
But for the record, it was moving.
when it didn't matter.
Okay. Naxine takes her leave and says she's going to rest up for a bit because, of course, you've all been up since about midnight and it's approaching like 6 o'clock. Well, by the time you get back to the inn, it's probably closer to 7 o'clock in the morning. So Naxine says she'll wish to speak to you later this afternoon or this evening, wherever she feels rested up. So she heads up to her room.
Zanhorn look at the other guys like, I don't know about you, but I am absolutely shagged. Because Zanhorn basically didn't really sleep last night because he was up playing the tunes like, I know how to party with the best of them, but I can't go on like this. I need to rest.
Even I could do with a little nap.
Indeed.
Okay. So do you all want to take a long rest then?
So Benjin's
Yeah.
feeling very quiet and almost ashamed at getting beaten again. So he's going to go to the bar and he'll chuck down a gold piece and just ask for a bottle of the strongest stuff they've got that's going to just help him sleep.
They oblige and hand you over a local apple brandy.
Well, and I tell them to keep the change. I presume, well, I don't know how much is a bottle. A gold's going to cover it, isn't it?
Yeah. Gold should cover it.
Yeah. And even Benjin actually doesn't sit there and get pissed in the bar. He takes it up to his room and he has a good half of the bottle before he passes out.
Okay then, folks. You can all have the benefits of a long rest then.
Nice.
Is that back up to full health? Is it?
That's back up to full health, yeah.
Cool.
And if I don't think anyone had, you don't think you had a short rest, did you? So you didn't use any hit dice.
No.
No.
So that takes me back up to rage, full rages again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to go have a chat with an abbot. You don't need to be raging anytime soon, I don't think.
No.
Just stern. That'll do.
Just stern. Just, yeah. Full stern mode.
Zan will be like, "Have you got a different mode, Haval?" But a wink.
I did make the joke about the matches.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
See, Benjin even sort of let that slip, but he was pretty upset actually by Leafless.
Liverless.
So it's late afternoon by the time you guys all emerge from your sleep. Of course, because most of you went straight to bed, but Benjin had a couple of boos, so you're sitting in the tap room of the inn, waiting for Benjin to rise. Maxine is kind of already there and is already poring over and scribbling notes on various things. And she says, "Well," she looks down
I
at
go
glasses
over
at you.
and
Yes.
have a look.
Well, I'll discuss with you once all your colleagues are here. I think what I wish to speak with you about is of great importance.
Of course.
I'll put the I'll obviously put the other half. I'll put that aside.
Okay. So
And then I come down, looking a little bit hungover. Not too hungover. I mean, I'm not probably big. I'll probably take my booze.
it's only
With
half a
everything
bottle of
else,
apple brandy.
with everything else. Sorry.
It's only half a bottle of apple brandy. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a breakfast drink. Isn't
so yeah. So Maxine draws you close and goes, it's a chance to have a word with you before you. I understand you wish to go see the abbot. Cenza here tells me wish to discuss matters, but I wish to have a word with you beforehand, if that's possible.
Very well.
Of course.
Every bone in my body tells me this is just the beginning.
Well, I mean, we've seen a certain number of signs, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard rumblings about other settlements being impacted by the sudden appearance of giants, and not just hill giants either. I've heard stories of stone, frost, fire, and cloud giants. Much more sightings than what you'd normally see.
We witnessed the aftermath of an attack at Nightstone
yeah.
by cloud giants. They took the central. There was a obelisk at Nightstone, which was rumored to contain giant magic. We believe they have taken it a cloud giant castle and are take it somewhere for reasons unknown.
Well, it's just as disturbing. That's another data point to consider. Well, I don't think now is the time for half measures. I think things need to be done. As you can see by these papers, which I know you, Cenza, have looked through, giants used to be in an ancient conflict with dragons. And I think there are two things that can help us at this time. One is dragons, and two is the Lord's Alliance. The Lord's Alliance need to be made aware of this danger, and I think they need to be told that dragons are the key. Can I make a suggestion for you?
Of course.
Of course.
Well, may I suggest you head to Waterdeep and see if you can gain an audience with Lady Lariel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep.
To what
She's
end?
she's the biggest and brightest spokesperson of all of the Lord's Alliance, being the major Lord of Waterdeep. It's possible that you may not be able to get an audience with her, so at the same time, I think you should see an old friend of mine. An acquaintance that I used to work with many years ago. He's a dragon expert. He goes by the name of Chaslauth Yarghorn.
Chaslouth. Yardhorn.
Yarghorn.
Yarghorn.
He's got a residence in the city's north wards. I'll give you directions. It's quite easy to find. It's distinct stereotypes, building a wizard-styled castle in the tower in the middle of Waterdeep. He's an expert on dragons. If Lady Silverhand can't help you, or the Lord's Alliance won't listen to you, he at least will be able to point you in the right direction, and may be able to point you to dragons who can help you fight giants.
I wonder if
very helpful.
Falgalos?
Yeah, Felgalos would help.
Who is Felgalos? I should know that name. Why do I not know that name? Just that's flicking through paperwork.
He's a dragon, a changeling.
A friend of ours.
A bronze dragon. He helped us at Nightstone.
He did.
You've already made an acquaintance with a bronze dragon.
Yes.
Most fortuitous.
We also have a rough timeline for when things might be coming to a close.
To a head, yes. 3 months, wasn't it?
That sounds about right.
Well, that's...
Water Deep is in the opposite direction.
True.
What way were we going?
North.
Yeah.
We were heading northwest, northwest, wasn't it? Northeast?
Yeah, northwest.
Following the trail of the Nightstone.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Maybe. Sorry.
Did we not get given a way to message further north? Did I imagine that?
You imagine that?
You imagine that?
Zephyros was given the crystal ball by the cultists. Damn the cultists.
You could always follow the river down, get a barge. Maybe that might be quicker. Anyway, I leave the decision up to you. I don't want to force you to do anything. It's your decision. It's just I highly recommend you seek this person out, and I'm really wrong about these things.
I'm sure you aren't, my lady. Your intelligence is refreshing to see.
Zanhor will look across at Haval, just like...
He's never this talkative.
What happened to Cenza?
I'm doing the cleaning my boots on the back of my trousers thing.
He's sitting up more straight than he normally would.
Good.
Is it worth us splitting up?
I think from recent experience, that's the last thing we should do. Hasn't gone well for us in the past.
No.
I think if we can take one thing away from Goldenfields, it's that we are certainly stronger together.
Hang on.
Well,
I don't know. What were you thinking, though, Val?
Well, it's only one person. Well, Haval.
Really?
My name is Haval Mashinin. We have been friends for many moons. We have fought together. You've died.
You've died together.
We've fought together. We've died together.
I thought it was Harvel all this
my
time.
Fucking name right.
Honestly, I thought it was Harvel all this time.
No, it's Haval
What an idiot.
and Patch. Haval and Patch. Okay.
Haval and Patch. Okay, Haval.
Yes. Write that down. There you go. Okay.
But what were you thinking, anyway?
I'm thinking that only one of us needs to go. It is just a simple issue of talking to somebody. We've got to go to Waterdeep, have a conversation with 1 or 3 people.
Some
people, and then meet back up again.
Okay. I presume you're thinking of yourself.
Well, I'm the only one I can trust to relay us.
How would you find
San would be like, oh, come
us?
on. Just think of the story that... Oh, yeah, story.
Yes, a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard tell that paladins have the ability to track people
Well,
or certain objects they carry, almost if they were locating objects.
well, I've heard that too, but also I know where you're going.
Oh, indeed. I mean, you'd be able to locate us more specifically.
Yes. I
So-
should be able to find you. At the worst case, I'll just follow along behind all the empty pubs.
Fair.
And stories.
I was going to say,
yeah.
yeah. Just follow the epic tales.
The epic tales and the empty wine bars. Yes, wine cellars. It's an option, but should we go see the abbot and see what happens? See what he has to say. Let's not make any decisions right now.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, next scene thanks you and wishes you good luck, whatever your decision.
I kind of jagged out there.
You can send her a letter, Cenza.
Oh yes, what an idea.
Just think about all that writing you do.
Yes.
So-
Oh, and the paper.
Sandhorn will nudge him and just say, and if you need a bit of help, with the poetry.
Okay, so you make your way through town. Again, it's not quite as much of a hive of activity as when you returned back, but there's definitely a forlorn mood. Most of the bodies, both humanoid and farmers and what have you, have been cleared now. And you can see when you get to the abbey that the abbot is quite busy, kind of in a conversation with like several people, giving them orders and getting instructions and such like. So it seems to be quite deep in thought at this point. But as you head into the abbey itself, Lee notices you and she heads towards you. And she says, "Oh, thank you for your assistance in the recent events. I think you thought admirably.
As did you.
Thank you. Chanteau smiled upon us this day, but Chanteau did not smile upon everyone. I think we managed to save Goldenfields. I think the sacrifices were unfortunately worth it in the end."
That loss will not be in vain.
I unfortunately must remain here. I can see there is much work to be done, but I think she looks across at the abbot and goes, "Although the abbot will thank you profusely, I don't think he will be able to thank you adequately." With this, she goes behind her neck and takes a necklace off from behind her robes, and there's she holds in her hand like this black pearl pendant, which she shows to you. And she says, "Admittedly, I'm a little bit of a disgrace to my family. They're traders. They're traded in silk, whale oils, fine glass, maps, any kind of interesting items from the East. And, well, my family's, I suppose, really wealthy, but I don't kind of have much interest in that wealth anymore. So I believe, really, you should have this." She hands you this black pearl pendant. On its own, it's a valuable item, but it's a symbol of my family. And my inheritance is kept with the House Tharn in Waterdeep, which are the Vinters. If you can speak to the butler of the Tharn household, Mr. Caldor Marskill, he will be able to hand over my inheritance to you. I believe there might be some items within that which will help you if your aim, of course, is to fight the giant menace.
It is. That's
It is.
But that's
It's
very
exactly our
generous.
aim.
So,
Too kindly. Thank you.
The champions of chance will not forget this. Sandhorn will do a bow.
Jesus.
That's not how you speak to women, though, Cenza. Don't take any notes.
Okay.
Sandhorn will give him a sideways look like, what?
She says, unfortunately, I now have even more duties than I had previously, and there's much work to be done in making sure we're at the equinox today, and high harvest tide is in but 10 days' time. So I don't think the harvest festival will be quite as bright this year, but with Shanto's blessing, we will carry on. Shanto's blessing upon you. May you go in peace.
And upon you also.
And she steps aside. At this point, the abbot has seen you talking and said, "Ah, gentlemen, I assume you've come to speak to me?"
Indeed.
Yes.
As he strokes his beard. Thank you very much for your assistance. I think without your aid, I think Goldenfields would be in much worse state than it currently is.
I think
If
you
I may be
understate
so
it,
bold,
but yes.
if I may be so bold, Abbot, if it were not for your delinquent, idle captain of the guard, you wouldn't have needed our aid in the first place.
He's got this very resigned look on his face and goes, "Yes."
I can forgive
He will
you for
take
not
credit
knowing
for
about
this,
that
no
war.
doubt.
Mm.
Strog will no doubt take credit, but I do believe you are right, Master Haval. I think the attitude and actions taken by Strog speak for themselves, really, and I will carefully consider his role in the near future.
I would do so. The soldiers here are excellent men. The guards on the gate are all above and beyond any right that they have to be from a leader like that. But with a breach in your defenses as such, it should never have been left so long. It should have been brought to your attention, it should have been repaired, and it certainly, absolutely should have been guarded night and day until the war was at full strength again.
Yes, no, you are right. You are right.
I'll just glance in the bear's direction,
Yep.
like drawing everyone's attention as if like the bears should have been an obvious sign. Like two random bears walking in wasn't enough.
It's a fair
The-
point,
the-
Benjin. In fact,
the-
I mean, you guys will let anyone in, and Sam will gesture to the rest of us.
The abbot looks to you and looks at Benjin's gaze and looks at the bears, and he goes, "See, we saw the bears as a gift from Shanto, when really they were a sign from Shanto. We should have realised. You're wise, Benjin, of the Uthgard barbarians."
No one has ever said that to him.
Not around you, they haven't.
Or anyone
So-
else, Sam will matter.
So, what will you do now? I admit, when you originally came here but yesterday, we agreed that you'd work in the fields. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Well,
It's,
we
we
did.
agreed that you would work in the fields to repay the debt of sending my druids and what have you to Nightstone, but I think you've repaid that debt tenfold. So
We
I
we
won't
did
hold
in
that
fact
against you.
work in the fields, so
yes, yes.
just not
Of
quite in the way
course.
you originally suggested.
So what will you do now?
Well,
We have a
I
floating
gave my
cloud.
word that I would work in the field for today to help to bring in the harvest. I'm a man of my word. That's what I shall do.
No. I insist. No. As I said, your skills have showed themselves. I don't think you are men of harvest. It would take up valuable time, I'm sure. I mean, you said to yourself you were chasing one trail of giants. There's now another trail of giants heading, I think easterly, I believe, from what my men have told me. But I believe you've betrayed your bet. You betrayed your debt tenfold. I couldn't possibly ask you to work in the fields.
If you insist and release me from my bond,
I do.
we are at an impasse. We have many routes to follow, all worthy and all just causes. It is the lot of a hero to decide who shall save, who shall not. These are the decisions we have to make now.
Well, May Shanto guide you well, Haval, and your team.
My team.
Yes.
San
all of
will be
you.
like, what?
May Shanto guide all of you and guide your path well.
And you too. Fairly well.
The champions of
Very well, and
chance
thank
will
you
long
again.
sing of what happened in Goldenfields.
This one doesn't sing.
Yes.
Don't worry, your names will be long remembered here. And you are always welcome, friends. If you need a place to rest or restock on provisions, the gates to Goldenfield will always be open to you.
Have a chat with a bear.
It's always good to have some friends.
All right then, men. It is upon us. What say you? What should we do?
It seems like we've got two clear things that need to be sorted out.
I make it 3, but continue.
Please, sir.
Well, since you're the head of the group, why don't you carry on then? San will be like slightly frustrated after all the hard work he's done introducing the champions on many occasions.
In which case, 1, we go to Waterdeep, we collect the inheritance, we speak to the Lord person, speak to the dragon.
Caldermarskill the butler.
we go speak to the butler, we go speak to the open lord, and we go speak to this dragon master in Waterdeep. Our other option is to continue our original route, is to chase down these cloud giants, the obelisk from Meastro. And our third and final option is to harry those goblins and ogres and giants that attacked last night and put an end to this blight on the land. Those are the 3 choices I see we have.
Well, we think that whatever it is that's happening to the north still has months to play out.
Indeed.
If this Goo or whoever she is sending out raiding parties, then she is an imminent threat to the peoples of this land.
And if it's connected, as several people have alluded to, perhaps there's some merit in chasing that in the short term.
Yes, however...
But can we keep getting distracted?
Well, we have months to get north before this final plan is hatched. However, should we go to Waterdeep, we will get information and weapons potentially from this inheritance that will aid us in defending and attacking against giants, including Goo.
I would say that I have several abilities. I lack
So you're
raw
breaking up a bit.
components.
So you broke up there, Paul.
Okay, I would say I currently lack the ability to use several of my spells because of a lack of raw components. I require a pearl, some cards, and more bones for divination. And I believe the stronger we get, the more I will need. We need resources, in short.
Steve, if I may, whereabouts on the map were we? Was it the Evermoors where we've got to go?
You were told that where you would go. Yeah, you were told that something was in the Evermoors, which is up
Evermoors.
there.
Okay.
So
Which is-
this map should be to scale. Oh no, it's not. I've
No.
got it. Oh well, never mind. That's backfired on me.
Okay.
No, this one isn't to scale. I didn't bother doing this one to scale. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'll have to look into that.
And what is the red dotted line? Sorry.
So the red light, this one here.
Just any red dotted line. I'm trying to work
So,
out. The key.
so those are major
Roads.
routes, basically major roads. So you have a major
Okay.
road going across. The high road is the one that links, basically goes across the cliffs of
Lovely.
Sword Coast, and then this is
So-
the long road which basically heads to Mirrorbar, from Waterdeep to Mirrorbar.
So what was it, Evermore?
That's where the obelisk is going.
Ah,
Remember when Zephyros divined its location and
oh,
destiny?
Zephyros, yeah.
Yeah. he divined that it would be heading to the Evermoors in approximately 3 months. Okay. So if we head back to Waterdeep, we can then take the long road, which is ironically going to be the faster road, north. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
That does.
So if we go to Waterdeep, we can get supplies, we can deal with the business we have there, become better equipped, better armed, and then travel north again on the main road and make up the lost time.
So we're discounting going and finding out who Gur is.
Potentially, yes.
By the way, in your handouts, you've got a zoomed-in map of the local area,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I can't ping, so I can't show you anything on it, but that gives you more of an
So
idea of where
we-
things are.
Yeah, looking at it, we could try and charter a barge to take us back to Waterdeep. That would likely be the fastest route.
Yes, agreed.
But what about finding out about Gur? If it's connected to the other stuff that's going on,
Well, we know that it's connected to the goblin attack at Nightstone, but the goblin attack came after the giants. We don't necessarily know that the cloud giants abducting the obelisk
it's a
is
fair
attached
point.
to what happened. We just know that those two events happened near one of each other. In fact, the goblins may have just been opportunists. In their
Well, at that much,
abduction
I
of
think
the
we can be
people.
sure.
Yes. There is no indication that the cloud giants are working in conjunction with the goblins.
Fair point.
I imagine cloud giants would both literally and figuratively see goblins. It would be the equivalent of us working with rats.
Or we.
Oh, but
Wait, hang
ironically,
on.
we did that, yes. But
Quite
no, that's not
effectively.
a very good metaphor.
So you're saying it's a good thing?
Let's do a show of hands. I mean, I agree we need to deal with goo and this goblins and the ogre problem. But maybe if we were better equipped, both in terms of information and literally equipment, then we'll be able to dispatch. I mean, giants. It took 3 of us plus Lee rather, and a sorceress, a very powerful sorceress, and we nearly killed him. We made him cry.
Zanhorn will just flinch back to being hit with that enormous chunk of rock and like.
Zanhorn was hit by an enormous rock, yes. Now, that was just 2 giants, and you want us to go face at least those 2, and plus Goo, who's even bigger.
Goo is likely to be a giant higher on the ordning, at least a fire giant, if not.
Sorry, you broke up again.
Yeah, you did lost that, mate.
Yeah, so Goo is likely to be a giant higher on the ordning than to who near Hill. She's likely to be at least a fire giant, if not a stone giant.
Okay.
Okay. Bad, then.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Waterdeep. Waterdeep, let's get some kick-ass weapons. Let's get some kick-ass information. There are books for you to read.
Yes.
There are pubs for you to drink in Benjin.
We can see Sleepy.
Sleepy! To Waterdeep! And just, actually, it has been a while since we've been back there. Their memories may have dimmed of us somewhat, and there are new songs to sing.
Yes.
Waterdeep's a pretty big city, isn't it?
It is probably the biggest city on the Sword Coast, yeah.
So we could, if we had the money, depending on the size of this inheritance, we could almost buy whatever we wanted. Anything we could think of almost could be sold there.
If it was going to be sold
imagine
anywhere, it'd be
so.
sold in Waterdeep. Yes.
Depends how big this inheritance is. We could buy literally anything.
No.
No. What I said was, everything I'm presuming is sold there
Oh, I see.
if you have enough money.
Yes. If you're going to buy anything, it's going to be bought in Waterdeep. Most importantly, quick transport to get us back on the trail.
We do have our horses, don't forget.
Yes.
Would it be
And-
faster by barge or by horse? What do you say, Steve?
Or
Or what would we know?
Barge would be easier, because you quite literally would just pay some money and get on the barge.
Would we have to take our horses on the barge?
If you
Like,
you
probably
know,
walk on the side.
speaking to people at Goldenfields, there is a regular barges between Goldenfields and Waterdeep because it's basically transporting all the food out.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
So yes, it's probably the most straightforward, and there's a regular barge. You wouldn't have to wait for anything.
So I could take Fornax. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to take your horses with you, definitely,
cool.
because these things will be huge.
Okay. So, barge to Waterdeep.
The advantage as well is the horse might be quicker in the short term, but the barge will go all night.
Yeah, okay.
Let's rest the horses. My horse has been in a fight while yours has just been fanning around in the stables. So,
Hmm.
Been fawning around.
fording around. Sorry, yes, of course. All right then. To
Right
Waterdeep then.
So Waterdeep.
Deep.
Right, we will sort out most of that in the next session. But for now, I think you guys have earned enough to get to level 5,
Yay.
Oh, no.
Yay.
which is going to be much to the annoyance of the other group because they're lagging behind a little bit.
Well, they've got a few sessions in a row to catch up, to be fair. So.
Yeah. So,
So what's happening with Rory? Sorry.
Haval.
Yes.
Harvel.
Marvel.
Haval. Hatton.
Mm.
I think that is to be determined. But today, I think that's the end of the feed for today.
Okay.
So, everyone who has been watching at home, thank you very much for watching.
Hope you enjoyed
Thank
it.
you very much.
Internet.
We should
Bye,
be back
goodbye,
on
Internet.
Thursday for the other group.
Masters of Fate.
For some more
Yes.
Masters of Fate, that's it.
Indeed. Tatty bye.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys.